Good morning. How are we doing? Happy Sunday. So I'm pre-diabetic. What are the best types of carbs to eat when trying to help with that? So if you're coming in, give me a hello. If you're on replay, give me a replay in the comments just so I know that you are in on this. And remember that I am doing a free talk on Wednesday, the 6th? We are back. So Wednesday, the 26th of January, I'll be doing a free talk entitled How to Improve Your Gut Health and Ditch the Bloating. So if you want more information on that, just comment below with gut health. So the best type of carbs. It's a really interesting question. So if you look at pre-diabetes, this will be almost like the precursor to type 2 diabetes. So if blood sugar levels start to go in kind of above 42 towards 48, that's known as pre-diabetes. Then above that will be type 2 diabetes. So it's like, hang on, we're getting closer to it now. Now, this little range has changed over the years to become almost a bit like larger and larger. So it used to be a bit higher. Now it's like people say around even 40. Some people might go, right, your levels are getting a bit higher. So if we look at what's actually happening here, we've got a few variables. We've got in 90% of cases, so 90% of cases, you've got potentially some insulin resistance happening. So this is in the cells, so the uptake of glucose, if you like, to the response of insulin. So our blood sugar levels get higher when we eat, our body secretes insulin, and insulin should help put all the glucose into the cells, into the muscle cells, into the other cells, all the cells we need, and good to go. But what can happen is our cells become resistant to insulin. It's a bit like they need a bit of DW40. It's a bit like you've got a key, you've got loads of keys, these insulin. Insulin is like a key, you get the key out and the lock's rusty. But your body will just keep making more keys. But it's not opening because the lock's rusty. So we need to make sure that is lubricant, get some WD-40. How do you do this? So you obviously got the medication side of things, metformin and many others, which I won't go into. But then you've got the diet lifestyle side. So first and foremost, we know that in many cases, losing body fat is helpful with that. Dropping calories is also helpful with that. It's not the answer that everyone wants to hear. However, we know that research shows that does have a big impact on inflammation, removing fat around the liver. However, that's not always possible in a lot of cases. Some cases are more complex than others. And there are decisions you can make that can have quite have a quick impact on your blood sugar level. So take, for example, firstly, a lower carb diet. It doesn't mean zero, just a lower, because traditionally we do eat a lot of carbohydrates. So a lower carb diet, maybe going from like 50% of your daily allowance of calories, right? Not even if you're not tracking them, to 30% would have a big impact. Now, what this looks like in practical terms, so we've got the amount here. So maybe now that one meal a day, someone gets all their carbohydrates from more vegetable-based sources, whether that's greens, whether that's a bit more like carrot, parsnip, like soups, lentils, beans. All of a sudden, their carbohydrates are becoming more fibrous, more protein-based, if in the case of lentils, beans. And I say to people, a good way to increase your protein intake and almost lower your carbohydrate intake is to either swap or mix like rice with like beans and lentils and dishes a bit like that are going to help in terms of glycemic load, which is the sugar hit, and also the carbohydrate load. Now, does it have a huge difference straight away? Not massively. So what you could do is go on a lower carb diet for a short period of time and see if that helps. So like I said, you could have more vegetable based, like non-starchy vegetables at one meal a day now. So you're having your carbohydrates at 2 or 1 meal a day now, depending on where you're at right now. But generally, the higher fiber carbohydrates, so generally you're talking more whole grains, them types of foods, lentils, beans, legumes, oats are going to be more slower digesting than the faster type, like white rice and etc. However, again, it's going to come back down to that glycemic load as well. So how much we're having and how that impacts our calories. So it's a very tricky one, because what you don't want to do is go so low that then you're then compensating with snacking and binge eating, etc. But generally, these foods are more filling anyway. They're really good for your gut health and feeding your gut microbiome inside as well. So like lentils, beans, all of them things are going to be helpful if you can get them in. They're also going to increase your protein intake, which all comes into that satiety and feeling full. Now, there is one caveat if you do have IBS or you're in that, and I'm going to be covering that in a bit more detail on Wednesday in my free talk at 8 p.m. Just comment below, I've got health. I'll make sure you're in the right place so you can see that. Because of the fermentation of it and because of how quickly some people will change their diet, they can feel that as well. But not to mention, I know this is about carbohydrates, but exercise is going to help with that, because exercise will use up essentially energy, and including carbohydrates, which almost acts as that WD-40 on the cells, which helps essentially get glucose into the places where it needs to go. And we know that exercise has a great impact on insulin resistance. So exercise alone can actually make the carbohydrate intake slightly different in terms of how we respond. So, for example, someone who's doing high intensity exercise may be different, may respond differently blood sugar level wise to someone who isn't when they have the same meal, because exercise has that impact. So pretty powerful, as well as our mental health as well, which I'll come on to on Wednesday. Awesome, Stella. Yep, I'll make sure you're in the right group for that. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Anyway, busy day today. We've got our Fruci Fit event in Devizes, which is exciting. Just getting loads of stuff ready. There we go. A few things in there. Yeah. And yes. And then we have our live meditation tonight and getting ready for the week. So I will see you later. Plus a birthday party, all in one day. So I will see you later. Take care.